Welcome back to 30 Days of Mania, WrestleMania 15. So we're officially halfway through this thing. Well, not halfway, we're more than halfway through now because it only goes up to 29 until we actually get to 30. Anyway, WrestleMania 15, not a great WrestleMania all around, so we only watched the main event, which was, as you can hear, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. The Rock was the WWF champion going in. He was really taking off. I mean, he was, at the bottom of the card at WrestleMania 14 and at the top of the card at WrestleMania 15. His career just shot up. People started loving him. Turned heel. Well, I think he was heel already, but like he started getting over, and then I think he was kind of going face because he turned heel at Survivor Series. So there must have been some kind of jumping back and forth going on there because he was a heel in the Nation of Domination, I think. Anyway, so this whole thing was really kind of Vince versus Austin. The whole Vince McMahon Stone Cold feud took off and people were loving it. Vince was like the biggest heel in the company pretty much. And it's quite funny because we watched the press conference from the end of WrestleMania 14 where they're talking to Austin after he won the belt from Shawn Michaels. They got Mike Tyson there, Vince McMahon in the background, and one of the questions says to Vince, "So Vince, are you ever going to be a bad guy?" And Vince is like, "Oh, I'll always be a good guy."
I thought he said, "I'll never be a bad guy."
He didn't say I'll never be a bad guy, so I'll always be a good guy.
Oh, okay.
And a bit of a hokey laugh, and then here he is, centre stage, I think it was the Royal Rumble of this year where he turned up as an entrant to the match with this just jacked up physique, wearing a vest, and then of course he had the match with Austin, the cage match at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and he was very integral to this match as well. So, what were your thoughts on Rock versus Austin?
Yeah, you gotta talk about it because I'm having a hard time remembering the match itself because it was yesterday that we watched it.
I know, it was like a full 24 hours ago. It's like it didn't even happen.
You see different things than I do when we watch wrestling, and we've been watching every day, and they're all like shuffling about in my head right now. And we watched 2 matches just now.
Okay.
For Raw.
Yeah. Okay, so Rock Austin, brilliant match. I mean, I always forget after I haven't seen it for a while that these two are just absolutely perfect for each other. Like, literally perfect. Just this. I don't know what it was, but just Rock and Austin, both great workers. Great, charisma, both loved by the crowd, or at least, when The Rock was a heel, he was a really, the crowd were into him as a heel. Austin's probably more over than he'd ever been at this point. The crowd just going nuts for him.
He's flipping them off and they're going nuts.
No, he does it like that, so that it's like the salute where he's like that. So it's not like, fuck you, it's like...
What, because his thumb is here?
No.
And not there.
No, but if I do this to you, am I flipping you off?
I'm flipping the people behind you up.
Well, okay, then he's flipping off the people behind.
And he turns around, so...
Little Hebner there, drinking beer on the job.
Oh, so now he's awake.
Oh, yeah. Quite a few ref bumps in this match, and, Shawn Michaels came out at the beginning, and, as the commissioner to make sure Vince didn't have any funny business, even though Vince came down later on. They took the match all around the crowd and the arena and the stage and stuff, and then they got back in the ring. Just some amazing kind of near falls and sequences. And
did you hear the Shawn Michaels thing?
Yeah, and I was saying to Connie, these guys practically invented the whole finisher kick out thing. And Connie was like, well, not really, because we'd seen it before, but when we had seen it before, it was Ultimate Warrior kicking out 5 finishers in a row, and larger than life characters who were almost superheroes, whereas.
Look like David Hasselhoff.
Who, Vince?
Yeah, just for a second.
But yeah, I mean...
He says it doesn't count when
Vince No, I didn't say it doesn't count. I'm just saying that they really brought this style of a big match situation where there's people kicking out finishes and stealing finishes. They really popularized it, I think. Vince is just hamming it up so much here, so annoyed and angry that Austin is the new champion. Austin punching out Vince, throwing him in the ring. Probably.
Vince is such an exaggerator.
Vince flopping around like a fish. Oh my god.
Overacting.
Oh, stunner.
That looked like it actually hurt his knees. So.
Yeah. Oh, so entertaining, the Austin Vince feud. Anyway, great match. The first of a great trilogy of matches,
Oh.
As good as this match was, it was nowhere near as good as the next one they'd have.
He just peed on his face.
That's beer.
Kidding. Obviously it's beer.
You just said, well, you see different things than I see, so you know maybe you're just seeing Austin whipping his knob out and peeing all over. Maybe that's what you want to see is Austin whipping out his knob and... No? Okay.
I don't want to see him whip out anything. Especially not that. Whipping it out like a psh, here it is.
Are you sure you don't want to see me whip it out?
I'm a pee on you. Okay, this is so bad.
That was awful. Oh, we got
not as bad as you're starting to say.
Boys to Men was the opening song. They sang America. Well, they sang America the Beautiful, and they had this kind of harmonizing. You know, actually, I've worked without any music. You know, I thought it wasn't like amazing, but it was different, interesting, worked for me.
It's completely different from the last time we saw someone singing that song.
Yeah. So.
It was Boys to Men then.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a cappella.
Yeah. So there you go. That's it. WrestleMania 15. You know, it's okay. You know, but the main event is.
Nobody whipped
awesome.
anything out. No peeing. It was just beer.
No, just beer and stunners and middle fingers and
Mick Foley.
F-bombs. Oh yeah, Foley came out to count the final pinfall, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. He's only the guy who's ever replied to you. And you're like, oh yeah, Mick Foley. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. And of
we
course,
didn't watch the match,
Mick Foley would finally get his dream of being in the main event of WrestleMania at the next WrestleMania, which we'll be talking about next. Thank you for watching.
Oh, and by the way, Big Show looks weird with long hair.
Yeah.
Shmoodaloo.
And how ridiculous was that? Undertaker hanging the boss man. Brutal.
I don't even understand how they did that.
Too far.
Yeah, what if... I'm not going to say it. No, I'm going to say it.
Thanks for watching.
Shmoodaloo.